on, dudes? How you guys doing? I am TheeRealDuke, and welcome to this episode of my Infinite Heights Survival Multiplayer Let's Play series. Trying to build some cool stuff with you guys and get you guys paid in the process. What's good? How you guys doing? How's your week going so far? I hope it's going well. Let me just go ahead and minimize this a little bit. Down in this area, down in a 50% range. I got a couple things I want to show you guys quickly. Actually, one of the things I talked about last episode that I didn't actually get to show you guys was how I snuck these little screens in. Let's just grab this stuff for that. I died, which doesn't happen often, not because I'm like, oh, I'm so good, I don't die often. I can fly, so I don't usually die that often. And I died and I lost all my incredible tools and stuff because I didn't take lava seriously enough. So I've been spending a lot of time. I'm just dumping some garbage here. I've been spending a lot of time. I mean, I could use that brick, but just kind of gaining levels and stuff like that, so that I can re-enchant some tools. And I do have a good selection of tools in here, but check out my weapons, no swords, and so it took me a while to get this, and so I actually got a sword, and then Kissy, who doesn't use her levels a lot, was like, does anybody want like me to enchant a sword for them or enchant anything for them? And I was like, yeah, you can enchant my sword, which I just lost. And so I gave her my diamond sword, and she enchanted it and got Bane of Arthropods 4, which is, as we all know, garbage. And I was like, thanks a lot, Kissy, for nothing. And she was joking, and then a little bit later, she actually mailed me a good sword, and she named it Eat It, that she enchanted for me. So I gave her some more diamonds back for that. But thanks, Kissy, I appreciate it. So I want to show you guys, like I was just saying, where do I have? I think I have them up top. I'm pretty sure I got them up top, yeah. I want to show you guys how I do these screens quickly, where are we at? Here it is. Blip. There should be plenty. I want to show you guys how I do this, and then I want to show you guys some updates to the temple structure over there, which we made a lot of. As you can see, Hydrogen Star's been going nuts over here, building up his little marketplace here. It's looking good. I'm going to do a little bit of work for him on the roofs. He asked for a hand with those, so I'm going to be working on those, not today, probably sometime in the future. He left a couple spots for some awesome trees in there. Might go back in and add a little bit more, but that's coming together and looking really good. So what I wanted to do was, as we're walking around on the paths here, if we're walking over here, like, this really feels like we're in a complete space, right? If we look over to the left and to the right, it's shops and stuff. But here, though, is kind of like a gap, and so this is a place that I would try and hide those, hide the kind of gap with the sugarcane stuff. So here's how I do it. It's very simple. It goes very quickly. And we'll do like up here too. So I dig it just a little bit of a path underground, which I did not anticipate this being below here. I forgot. Let's plug this up a little bit. Oop. There are so many crazy caves under this thing, which is good. Because, as I was saying, I had to re-enchant some stuff, and I actually found a zombie spawner, which I want to show you guys also. So, actually, I need to break out this one. Yeah. Because I'm going to put a grass block there, and I want that to keep going. Perfect. So, now we can grow some sugar cane. Let me just grab another piece of dirt. And so I hid the water under there, so you can't see the water, but it's actually too far under here, but that's okay because we can just kind of And so remember, when you're placing sugar cane, you can actually stack it as high as you want. It'll only grow to 3. It grows sometimes to 4 in the wild. It'll only grow to 3 if it's something that you plant, but once it's established there and it's on a valid spot for it to grow, stack it as high as you like. And that's it. That's how we do that screening. And that kind of, makes us feel like we're in a real, greened and lush area. So I guess we could pop by. That's it. If you have any questions about how I do that, or you're just curious about anything, again, never hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to tell you guys all about it. Let's pop over to the zombie spawner real quick. Alright, so currently the only way to get here, I just have a home set here, so there's no stairwell in or out, or any entrance from above. The only way to get here is to use my home, or for me to teleport you in, whatever. But it's standard spawner, no big deal. Remember, just a couple points, if you're setting up a grinder like this, there's a spawning area where you just saw the flames, the tongues of fire flash there, and new zombie spawn. There's a limit, and there's a limit to how many mobs created by the spawner will spawn in the chunk that is centered around the spawner. So you need to move the mobs out of there if you want them to continue to spawn. So you got to move them outside the chunk, which I have them doing. There's actually a water channel under here, and it goes off in that direction. There's a water elevator that brings them up. If I poke through here quickly using the wrong tool, the water elevator kind of spits them up. They come popping up over there. Then they come down this water channel, and they land here. The limit for how many mobs this will spawn in a row is like between 8 and 16 somewhere. I think 8's the limit, but I'll say 16 just in case. And if I hit F3, you can see that there are 17 there that we're looking at. And let's see if any more spawn. And there's some more spawning too. So we know we haven't reached the cap. So as soon as the mobs spawned by the mob spawner, leave the area around it that it counts to see if it's reached its limit of mobs. They are no longer counted by it, and so they can actually enter back into the area around it without it counting it again once they leave. So that's how we get these guys accumulating. So we got like in the 20s here. So, and then I just have, boop, little hopper into a chest, getting some decent loot. I haven't been doing this for too long, but we got some good stuff so far. Some gold, some iron, carrot, potato. So, decent. I got no light in here, but that's okay because these are the bottom slabs, so nothing will spawn in here, and we're all good. Again, this was, just to touch on what I was mentioning last episode about using salvage and the repair skill. So, if you guys are having problems with that, let me know. Also, let's head back to town. I just want to show you guys this real quick. Let's head back to town. Oh, and if you guys have any trouble setting these up also, definitely let me know. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments. I did a spider spawner episode on the Craftage server a while back where I did this with cave spiders, and I kind of explained the whole thing for you guys step by step, so you can check that out. Anyway, so we'll head back into town, and I will show you guys around the temple, which has some pretty big changes, and some of the landscaping around that. Stick around. Be right back. Alright, so the sun is coming up. Beautiful pagoda rising from the mist. Remember this, a grain mill that Adrian built, looking good. We did some water expansion here. I want to have like a little bit of a pond here, which I didn't finish digging out. We had special guest builder Slick77 come in and throw this bridge together for us, which looks awesome. Just need a couple more details, maybe throw some buttons in there, and we will call this bridge done. But it's a nice, simple, rounded bridge, good amount of detail, functional, 100% functional. Again, Slicks gave us this awesome torii gate before at the entrance to to my, I guess what's becoming my storage island. And so you can see we have some paths here that were not there last episode. So you can also see some changes to that. So first things first, again, we want to turn this into a little bit of a fishing kind of little fishing pond type thing. Throw a bunch of trees around it like we do. You know how we do with trees. We have this kind of cool walled little bit kind of happening around Hydrogen Star stuff, which looks sweet. And this area, if we keep going in this direction a little bit, we're moving away from the village. You can see we have some epic mountains. And I'd like to actually spread in this direction and build some smaller scale, like a smaller scale temple complex, kind of crawling up into these mountains, and then we'll work on some good bridge structures up to probably a pagoda on this floating island as practice for the main event. Try speed. As practice for the main event on the massive mountain structure that is just over here, like this thing here. So this is freaking massive. Anyway, so this temple design here. Actually, first, so the layout is going to start swinging this in that direction, and what we're going to do is have just maybe three or four of these double market stalls, and then a row of merchant shops that are 2 stories, a road, another row of merchant shops that are 2 stories, and that road will lead into maybe another fairly epic bridge like we have over here, spanning this river, and then that'll take us over into that land for expansion. Then we'll do another row of those 2-story merchant shops. I'd like a row of farmhouses, maybe another row of merchant shops back to back, a row of farmhouses, and then farmland in this area, some farmland. Probably from like here, that way. And then on this side we'll have a row of nice houses, and we'll start to have the entrance to this complex. And I'll show you guys around this in 1 second. We have a kind of water feature. Well, first of all, again, these are the cool, this is a new, part of the new path. This is some of this is all natural, the way this kind of generated in here. What's up, Zambo? Just gonna just have you hang out here and burn to death, probably. So this is just kind of how it is here. So I'm just gonna build a little bridge, landing here, maybe like a gazebo of some type around it, and then another little bridge, and then this will take us to the entrance of the temple complex, of this temple anyway. And then I just wanted to have, coming from underneath it, some water, because the way this hillside was kind of poised there, I thought it would be cool if there was like a branching porch type structure that kind of came out, and we could have some water. If we could have some water flowing underneath it, I thought that would be cool, so we made that happen. And then I just kind of did a couple Giga drill breakers to connect it to the water here. Pretty sweet. I think this is going to look good. I just haven't gotten under here with more water yet to kind of get this going. Let's see what happens here. Well, that doesn't look bad. Just fill this in real quick here. Almost. I thought that was going to be it. There it was. Almost. Oh, crap. Almost. Man, freaking water. There we go. I'll probably still fiddle with this a little bit and get the water coming from farther back in there, but it's basically, you know, a nice little spring coming out of there. So ideally we would follow this path in, and I can't forget to talk about that path either. We'll get to that path in a second up there. So we'll follow this path in this way. There'll be like a little gazebo kind of thing happening here, and then we can enter on this side. And last episode, or maybe it was the episode before, I kind of talked to you. I got to change the speed here. It's insane. There we go. I talked about how there were the golden statues inside the temple, and this is kind of what the setup was, and so this is kind of how I put them in. And so basically, instead of these being gold blocks, it would be armor stands covered in gold armor. But I just kind of threw this together so that you guys could kind of get a sense of what kind of what I was talking about. And I have to close this back up. Anyway, I was fiddling around with an entrance over there. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's really long, and it is full of gold, gleaming golden statues. And then when we come out this side, when we come out the back side, what you can see is I have zazzed up the archery game a little bit, and I don't have my bow on me right now. I'll just switch into creative real quick just to illustrate this point for you guys. Just grab a bow. So I cleaned up the mechanism behind this whole thing here. I added a bunch of banners. Banners are cool. That's not a half banner. That is simply a banner that is going into dirt. And we don't have yet full 1.8, obviously. So there are no designs on the banners. But I think the red and white design looks good. And it also makes clear the center line, where the center line is. But also you can see that this kind of structure still looks kind of cool over this canyon shape kind of thing that's going on here. So let me see if I can just see how good we can do here. Low. Up. 1, 2. Nailed it. So that still goes off. I did change it so there is no longer the dinging noise, because you couldn't hear the dinging noise anyway, really. And I just kind of tried to fit the look of the stuff around here, and you can still see a little bit of kind of the circuitry going on in there, but it looks better than just the cyan wool that's sticking out. And you know, it's kind of a cool looking building. I think it works. I hid the dispenser up here in plain sight. It's not very noticeable, and then it still works, so that was pretty sweet. As you kind of are walking around the temple, you notice I have all this cool jazz over on the sides. We have the trim going around, and I have the acacia wood details underneath that are typical of holy sites. We just have fences just to throw a little bit of detail. I am still going to use some quartz to detail out this wall here. There should still be, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't get to try it, so I don't know what it looks like yet. Oh crap, I'm still in creative. I hate being in creative because I do stupid stuff like that all the time. I just break things. Anyway, I'll fix that later. I don't have those blocks on me right now. So there still may be posts that kind of come up here. There may or may not be those. Occasionally there are colorful banners hanging from the eaves of temples. Not sure if I'm going to have those yet or not. I mean, it will completely change the look of this thing, but we'll have to see. Almost done with the temple. Still some work. Again, posts coming from here to here. Just kind of like there, maybe on every beam or every other beam. And then a little bit of fence to kind of go underneath here to fence off the area underneath, and to also kind of imply supports for the pathway around, for the little for the deck that follows around it. Now, from you guys, for next week, then the thing we need next is, and Hydrogen's also already got a really good design for a two-story merchant shop, but if we could always use more cool designs for those. So merchant shops and farms, we need some farm designs from you guys. Now the farms are not for maximum efficiency. They're not supposed to be redstone laden. That's not the point. They need to look authentic, so get yourself some source material, search up some ancient Asian farms and see what you can come up with. because that's the kind of thing that we're looking for. Drop me a line on the forums. Leave a message or comment here if you guys have any ideas. But that is it for this episode. Thanks again so much for watching. Thanks to my special guest builders, making this thing look great. I'm having a great time building with you guys, and I would like to build it with you too if you're not already a part of this. As we kind of cruise up this path here. I wanted this, I almost forgot to mention this, I wanted there to be a little viewing platform right here, because this is right on center. We have a perfect view, we can see every shot. So I think this would be a cool spot for it. So I want this little path to wind up. Maybe there'll be some kind of little overhang type thing here. Maybe a couple torii gates on the way up or something, I don't know. I think it would be cool to watch from here though. Anyway, again, that is it for this episode. Thank you dudes so much for watching. I hope you dudes enjoyed. Truly I do. I appreciate you guys taking a second to check out my channel and to check out this video. If there's anything else you'd like to see from me, do not hesitate to ask. I have a good time bringing you guys this stuff, so let me know. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks again. It's TheeRealDuke, and I'm out.